first graders. For reading today, I want to talk a little bit about a bookstore, a library. You can even look at all the books that I have behind me. You know what a book lover I am. I want to talk about one time when I took my littlest daughter, Morena, to a bookstore to look around. She was just amazed at how many books are out there. And then she was asking, well, how do I find this kind of book? How do I find this kind of book? And what we noticed was on different tables or different shelves, there were notes or tabs or little sections that were labeled for what kinds of books they were. So there was nonfiction books, there was fiction books, there was books that teach lessons, there was books about space, there was books about food, there was books about different characters. So they were sorted by author. So they had, or holiday, we were going in there in the summer. And so they had a patriotic table that had different books that were really talking about the United States of America. And so that got me thinking that we need to talk here in the classroom about how readers, that's you and me, how we can kind of group our books together, um, kind of by the lessons that they teach. And so I grabbed a whole bunch of books that we have already read this year. We read Iris and Walter and the Field Trip. All right. What kind of lesson was in there? Huh. Maybe following the code of conduct, staying together, listening, taking care of your friends. Maybe it's about friendship. She noticed that Walter was missing. Ish. What kind of lesson was in there? Yeah, that doing your best is good enough. It is good. It is okay. Right? I love that story. Tumbleweed Stew. Was this written for fun? Was it written to teach a message or a lesson? Ollie the Stomper and Gossie and Gertie. Were they written to teach us about little ducks? Probably not. Were they were they written to teach us some certain things, maybe about friends or how to get along, how to share, how to play together? Maybe. Mr. Putter and Tabby dropped the ball. It was a sports thing, maybe about getting together with his neighbor, going out exercising, having fun. He was kind of taking naps all the time. Frog and Toad are friends. I think that one tells us right there what it talks about being friends. And no, we don't always get along, and no, we don't always want to do the same things, but we're still friends and we can figure it out and have fun together. Henry and Mudge and the Happy Cats. Was there a lesson in there? Did they do the right thing, taking the cat in and helping it and feeding it, and then trying to find out who the owner was? They did. They put out those um, paper flyers everywhere, and the police officer saw one of those and came to get his cats. All right, it made them sad, but they did the right thing. Okay, so behind me on the chart, I have a chart called Group Books by Lessons, and you might want to see what you've got at your house. And of course, ask mom and dad if you're going through the bookshelf to make sure that they haven't organized it a different way. But if they haven't, maybe you want to try to organize your books today and see what you come up with to see if you have some things that are in the same categories. So I just put a whole bunch of things together. You could group books about friends. You could group about the code of conduct. You know that I have my top shelf back here where I have things about the recess queen and how to get along and how to share, how to listen, how to learn, how to say I'm sorry. All of my code of conduct lesson books I put together. Don't give up. Oh, do your best, and your best is good enough, right? There's that ish book. Animals, might have a whole bunch of books about animals. Nonfiction, you might have some nonfiction books you want to put together so when you want to read a nonfiction book, you can find it easier. Maybe some are just funny and make you laugh. We're going to talk more about one of my favorite authors, Robert Munch, and his books are funny. They make me laugh. Sometimes there's a lesson, but sometimes it's just funny. Okay, and I think about Gerald and Piggy and The pigeon books and Knuffle Bunny, yes, there are lessons in those, but sometimes they're just fun to read. Maybe it's books about neighbors and how to get along. Maybe it's books about food. Maybe you have a bunch of cookbooks that you want to put together. Maybe it's following the rules. Again, back to those code of conduct things, or I think of Iris and Walter and staying together, following the rules, so that nobody does get lost. So today you just have fun taking a look at your books and seeing if you can group some books together by lessons that they learn. Thanks, first graders.